1000.
Hello and welcome to the Big Wobble. The hottest place on the planet last week was Birdsville Airport in Queensland, Australia, at an incredible 45.5 degrees Celsius, 114 degrees Fahrenheit. At the other end of the crazy scale, the coldest place on the planet was Vostok in Antarctica, weighing in at minus 55.2 degrees centigrade. That's minus 67 degrees Fahrenheit. And the wettest place in the world goes to Borongan in the Philippines, which saw an incredible 618 millimeters or 24 inches of rain in a 24-hour period.
The powerful Category 4 cyclone tore roofs off buildings, downed power lines, toppled trees, and flooded low-lying areas. It's believed Cyclone Gita is the worst storm to hit the tiny South Pacific island nation in decades. Tonga is an archipelago comprising 169 islands around 3,000 kilometers east of Australia. More than half of all homes and buildings, including Tonga's Parliament House, are said to be damaged or destroyed.
The Turrialba volcano registered yet another important eruption this Monday, with a column of ash that reached 1,000 meters above the crater and 4,340 meters above sea level. On Tuesday, Bali's volatile Mount Agun volcano rumbled back to life, spewing ash and steam 1.5 kilometers into the Indonesian sky.
Tropical storm Sanba triggered landslides and flooding in the South Philippines with heavy rain and winds. At the time of this recording, at least 10 people are reported to have died. It made landfall in the country on Tuesday, February 13th, and was projected to make its way west. Disaster relief officials said most of the deaths were reported in the Surigao del Sur and Surigao del Norte provinces. About 5 people died in Carasal and 1 child in the Leyte province from landslides. The nation's Weather Bureau estimated the winds reaching up to 65 kilometers.
It's been a week of earthquakes in strange places. A very rare magnitude 4.3 struck the Chinese capital Beijing on Monday. Earthquakes in this part of China are extremely rare. A 2.3 magnitude earthquake struck an area in North Korea just 400 kilometers from Beijing early on Wednesday. The quake comes only a few days after South Korea reported an earthquake in waters near Pohang, North Gyeongsang province. The 4.6 magnitude tremor occurred only 3 months after a medium-sized quake struck the South Korean region. South Korean authorities believe the quakes are the result of North Korean nuclear testing. And on Saturday, the largest quake to hit the UK in 10 years, when a magnitude 4.4 hit Swansea in South Wales. And on Valentine's Day, a very rare quake hit New Hampshire in the US. The magnitude 2.0 was one of a half a dozen quakes to have hit the area in the last few weeks. And on Monday, the Azores Islands in the Atlantic suffered hundreds of small tremors. This week, the daily water ration is to be lowered to 25 litres, 6.6 USA gallons per day. A single toilet flush uses 9 litres, as Cape Town's day zero is approaching soon. Most Cape Town residents will be forced to queue at communal taps at 200 water points, likely under police or military guard, to collect a daily ration of 25 litres, half the amount allowed now. The latest data from the city of Cape Town indicates that dam storage level is at 24.9%, and that's a weekly decrease of 0.6%. Earth entered a fast-moving stream of solar wind this morning, now blowing almost 600 kilometers per second, 1.3 million miles per hour. During the early hours of February the 19th, the increasing pressure of the stream triggered a G1 class geomagnetic storm. The solar wind stream is flowing from the hole in the sun's atmosphere, so wide that Earth should remain inside it for at least another 24 hours. NOAA forecasters say there is a 30% chance of additional G1 class storms today. The G1 storms are relatively minor and have little effect on satellites or global power grids. However, they can spark bright auroras around the Arctic Circle and confuse migratory animals that navigate using magnetism at high latitudes. The world has reached its tipping point. In just 2 years' time, the world will have lost 2/3 of all wild animals. This amazing statistic from the living planet goes on. The number of wild animals living on Earth is set to fall by 2/3 by 2020, according to a new report, part of a mass extinction that is the most comprehensive to date. Indicates that animal populations plummeted by 58% between 1970 and 2012, with losses on track to reach 67% by 2020. Researchers from WWF and the Zoological Society of London compiled the report from scientific data and found that the destruction of wild habitats, hunting and pollution were all to blame. In another report released by journal Science Advances, they are claiming the world's primates face an extinction crisis, with 60% of species now threatened with extinction, according to the research. A global study involving more than 30 scientists assessed the conservation status of more than 500 individual species. This also revealed that 75% of the species have populations that are declining. Add to this the unprecedented death of millions of tons of marine life around the world's oceans and waterways, all point to a crisis which has crossed the tipping point, destroying the natural world upon which humanity depends, and at the current rate, all species should be totally gone before the year 2050. Well, on that frightening note, I'll be ending this week's report. I thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all again next week. By the way, if you do enjoy these weekly updates on the Big Wobble, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot.